beauty fades, and who you are from within is forever. And definitely be a woman of your word and hard work.
Good morning, good afternoon to everybody. Thank you for tuning in. Once again, we're back by high demand. Our topic for today is wire fraud. And Jasmine and I are here to give you a couple of tips, couple of information as to how to prevent wire fraud. One of the things that I think it's important to know is, what's the high possibility of any of our clients being victims of wire fraud, and how you as a client or you as an agent, broker, real estate, or lender need to know how to inform your clients how to prevent it. So obviously, imagine your client, being able to afford their first home and they sent the wire to the wrong company, either the escrow company, which usually is us, that holds the earnest money deposit, right? So usually as a company, as a company, we want to make sure that we send a wire instructions to our clients directly, to the buyer directly, a secure email, giving them information about our wire information as to where to wire it. With that being said, we also advise them that they need to call our office. They need to verbally verify with either Jasmine or myself the wire instructions. Why is it important to verify these wire instructions? Because we don't want those monies to be sent elsewhere, and we are not liable if they send that money somewhere else that's not our escrow. So Jasmine, tell us a little bit about how do we do it here at Orange County Escrow to prevent, or the process as to how to prevent wire fraud.
So here at Orange County Escrow, at the signing of the final loan documents, typically there are an escrow package in which there's a form where we as an escrow company are instructed by the borrower or the client to either send their proceeds either via form of a wire or a check. Now, if they choose to do a wire, the notary, we ensure that they fill out that form with them, have the borrower personally complete that form, in which the form indicate the bank name, the account number, the routing number, and the name exactly as it appears on their account. And we ask that these instructions be notarized because it is the notary's responsibility to verify the identity of our client. And then, so once that is completed, signed, and notarized, that original document gets sent back with the final loan documents that they completed, in which the date that I'm finally ready to release those funds, we also call our clients again personally to confirm the account number and match it to the original instructions that were provided.
So with that being said, a lot of the times me and Jasmine get a lot of the clients, well, I already gave you that information, so why should I give you this information again? And I understand getting that call from escrow, asking, hey, can we verbally verify those wire instructions that you provided at the time of signing, can be a little bit worry as to why should I give it to you back? And some of the times I say, well, client, borrower, or, the reason why is we're taking that extra step to make sure that you were the one who wrote in your account number, right? Most of the times what happens, Jasmine, when we get those wires and, oh, you know what, that's not my account number. So what do we do next when they come back and say, oh, you know what, I'm so sorry, I wrote someone else's account, or I wrote, or, they come up, it's not my account, it's actually my routing number. What do we do? Because they're already notarized that document. So I myself feel it's already a red flag. Your client should know what is their account number and what they're writing there. So that's a very crucial part of the form. But we do get those, right? So we do get those that come and say, you know what? Oh, no, cross that out. I decide that's not my account number. Or you know what? I want to send it to another account. I decided to another account. So what happens next?
So then if that is the case, we ask that the form once again be completed again and notarized again, just because we want to make sure they're providing us the correct information and making sure another step, obviously, to prevent wire fraud.
And with that, I usually tell clients, I'm not apologizing for trying to secure your money, because with escrow and obviously with fraud being in the high rise, it's very crucial to make sure, we're sending it to the right account, to the right person as well. For example, I'm going to tell you, we've had these calls where, we have our clients, being in our office, and we get a call letting us know, hey, my wife was just in there, and so I want to change our wire instructions. I'm going to email them to you. Those are things we want to really look into. And you as a client, these are red flags that you want to identify from the beginning. Get to know who your escrow company is, who is your title company, who is your real estate agent, their TC, who you're really working as a team. And how do you identify these red flags with wire fraud, right? So if you see an email going to your junk email, if you see an email that's a little bit off, that's not what you've been communicating with, make sure that you identify that as a red flag, and make sure you contact your agent and be like, hey, agent, or hey, escrow, I got this email telling me that I need to send my wire somewhere else that was different to what I originally was advised to do. Pick up that phone, make that extra call. A lot of the times as well, our agents, or we want to close pretty quick, right? So people are like, just send your wire, don't call it in. We have until 12:30 or our cutoff times. We do have cutoff times, right? So when we have cutoff times, everybody's rushing. And when we rush, we don't tend to tell our client to call, right? So the client's already at the bank trying to rush. They don't want to call. They want to make sure that recording's on time. So we don't want to rush a wire, because that is where wire fraud happens, right? So with that being said, they just wire the funds and it gets wired to someone else. So what happens when the client wires their funds somewhere else? Who's responsible for that? The client is responsible for that. So that is something we're trying to save, clients from losing that money, because we understand the hard work that they put in to save that money for their either first home or a secondary home. We understand that it is very important, and we've heard cases of people wiring their final funds to the wrong escrow company. Another example is, I had about 2 weeks ago a client that called me and said, hey, I wired you funds to your escrow, but I don't have an escrow with you. So I looked at the wire. It identified an escrow number at the bottom, and I looked at that escrow number, and it was a closed escrow. So then that was not my buyer, that was not my seller. So then for me, it's like, okay, something's happening here. So what do I do? So then I contact the buyer's agent on my transaction, and I said, hey, agent, do you have Mr. Joe on a transaction currently? And he stated, yes, I do. And I said, well, your buyer sent me funds from an escrow that I don't have. So red flag there, agents. It is safer for the escrow company to send the wire instructions directly to your buyer. Reason being is because the hackers are hacking the Google accounts, because those are not secure accounts. So hackers usually tend to make sure they know the transaction. They go out there, they see who's selling their home, they see who the agent is, and then that's how they hack the agent. That's how they hacked the seller's email. And so they hacked the conversation, which means then they create a fake email account, and then they start communicating with the escrow. And that's when they come along, when we are either ready to do the earnest money deposit or we're ready to send their funds. So with that, it's very important, very crucial to make sure that we're all in communication as a team, to make sure that the client is aware where to send the funds, and to make that phone call. Us as an escrow company, we send wires out on a daily basis. And so our routine is to make sure that we are contacting the client, to make sure that that phone number that we have, that email that we have, is from the very beginning of the transaction, right? We get those where, like, last minute someone tells us, oh, they changed their phone number, call this number to verbally verify that. Guess what? I am not going to call to verify on a new number, because all my information on my escrow package have a different email, have a different phone number. So we do take the extra step to make sure we call the client, make sure that, hey, we got this new phone number, but, I'm not sure, that's not a number that when I got from the very beginning. So, something else that, it's an extra step that we do. It might seem lengthy when we're trying to close escrow. We're making it quick, but it's not for us because we want to make sure that money gets sent to the right place. So with that being said, the FBI Internet Crime Reports identifies around 12,000 victims of wire fraud, real estate wire fraud. With that being said, a combined loss is $150 million. So imagine $150 million going somewhere else that's not escrow to close your account. Those are big numbers. And those are numbers that, we should be aware of. And we should be taking that extra step to make sure that, we are informing our clients. We are making sure that they know who is their team, who is their title, who is their escrow.
Yes, thank you so much, guys, for tuning in. We do appreciate any feedback. Should you have any questions, once again, you can contact us here at 949-485-4889. My email is jasmine@escrowoc.com.
And my email is maria@escrowoc.com. Like we said, our office is open from 9 to 5. You're more than welcome to call us, email us, text us, shoot us an email. We want to know your feedback. Comment on the video. Let us know what you want to hear next. Our objective is to pretty much inform our clients, give information to everybody as to what is escrow, how do we process your transaction here with escrow, and we want to hear your comments. We want to hear your feedback so that we can better serve our clientele, better serve you guys. So thank you once again for tuning in, and we'll hear from you guys soon.
It's more important to be righteous than to be right. Let's not be mediocre in our greatness. Think big. Think big.
It's not many great role models, and I try my best